Jumpin In on Manx Radio.
With Howard and Chris Kane.
Hello.
Good evening.
And welcome. And here we are once again on a Saturday night on Manx Radio. It is part 2 on Jumpin In, the best in modern and contemporary jazz of the London Jazz Festival 23 special with myself, H.
And me, Chris. Yes, as regular listeners will know, this is one of our favourite times of the year as London Jazz Festival is on, when the big smoke takes on perhaps a slightly cooler than usual vibe as jazz musicians ooze from the very fabric of the city, taking over concert venues, clubs and pubs with 10 days of great concerts and appearances, including many free events, and some of those might be free musically, but also free of cost. And we'll be down there as we speak, gathering festival goodies for future shows. So, H, as the festival comes to a climax, what's left you clamouring for more, and what has been a missed opportunity as the times taken to traverse the capital mean you cannot easily cram in more than 2 gigs in a night?
No, it's always tricky, it has to be said. The ever wonderful Charles Lloyd, in his 80s I think now, and still going strong, still as pertinent as ever, wonderful, with one of his trios from his excellent trio of trio albums released over the last 12 months. Hiromi, we're not going to catch her, but she's down there. Get to see if you can with her Sonic Wonderland, and the brilliant James Brandon Lewis will be at Cafe Otto.
Yeah, indeed, another fantastic artist. Well, both him and Hiromi, who I last saw live in Barbados. Well, there we go. And from me, we protest, we look out, we take a dim view, and we start... Well, we'd fit right in here with Nikki Isles and the NDR Big Band, beg their pardon, with Misfits. Fantastic stuff. In a tour celebrating her birthday, should you mention a lady's age?
No, shouldn't think so.
No. Well, she was celebrating her first birthday a mere 59 years ago. But Nikki, the Nikki Isles with the NDR Big Band playing brilliantly and just as energetically and looking as great with this fantastic Hamburg bass band taking them through the twists and turns of her tricky composition Misfits. And this brings a fitting close to the festival tomorrow night. In fact, we hope to be there with the music live at the Cadogan Hall. And we heard a great guitar solo there from the Impossible Gentleman's Mike Walker. Nikki is the band's composer in residence for the year and has provided some great music for the band to work with. And the album Face to Face, which is being released at the festival, is on Edition Records and is a must for any big band fans.
Swinging stuff, wonderful player. That said, a mere whippersnapper compared to Charles Lloyd, who has been round at the top of his game since the 1960s. And here he is in 2023. For many, I think, playing even better. Certainly still incredibly relevant. He's not coasting. He's still bringing out albums which top the charts. And no exception in 2023. Over the last 12 months or so, he's released his trio of trios, which are exactly that, the Charles Lloyd trio. But each trio was different. So one with Zakir Hussain, one with Julien Lage on guitar, and this one, the Ocean trio, Charles on alto and tenor sax and flutes, Gerald Clayton at the piano, and Anthony Wilson at the guitar. And here's a track called Hagar of the Inuits. Absolutely terrific stuff. Any of those trio albums you won't go wrong with. It has been one of the high spots, certainly for me, over the last year or so, listening to Charles Lloyd and his trio of trios. And that one, the Ocean Trio. Charles, as I said, on saxes and flute, Gerald Clayton piano, Anthony Wilson at the guitar. And you can catch Charles Lloyd Ocean Trio live, of course, at the London Jazz Festival on Friday. In fact, it was yesterday evening as we speak. We're recording this obviously before we went down, so it was yesterday evening Charles was on there, the 17th of November. So we'll report back on what it was like. We'll see if we can get a word with Charles. I've tried to have a word with his wife, who normally manages affairs, but so far she hasn't come back, so we'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. Wonderful setup, Barbican with Gerald Clayton. In this particular case, though, it'll be Marvin Sewell, the guitarist, playing with him at the Barbican. Terrific stuff.
Terrific stuff indeed, and we'll have a few more senior statesmen before the end of the programme. It's not just for the youth, as they say, although there's plenty of that around as well, with talent pouring out of every orifice. Now, we're lucky enough to catch this band last year at the Purcell Room at the Southbank Centre. This year, besides skipping all over town with his double bass, not an easy thing to do, Jaspar Hoiby is performing the intriguing and challenging music from Planet B at the Vortex, and it raises many questions about how we're treating our planet and how we're running out of time. Here's Vision of Outrage.
I think that we have to begin to have a conversation that incorporates a vision of love with a vision of outrage.
taken from their album What It Means to Be Human. The second release, we heard the voice of social justice American activist Ruby Sales at the beginning there, when Jaspar Hoiby's ironically named Planet B, as we're all aware, sadly there is no Planet B. The sinuous contortions of Josh Okolio's tenor with the driving metronomic rhythm of Mark Mikkel's drumming, and of course Jaspar Hoiby's bass and electronics. When we saw them last year, the show was graced with a fourth band member in the form of a trancing slideshow of amazing images of nature and from our planet, taken at a distance or close-ups and underwater and everything. Fantastic photography, a thought-provoking and thoroughly engaging set of original music. Vision of Outrage was taken from their second album, What It Means to Be Human, and of a planned 4, it says, that was released last year. Incidentally, we did manage to catch up with Jaspar for a few words last year, and he's another great, very, very friendly bloke, even ready to break off from a sound check to have a quick word with us.
Yes, he was a really nice guy, I must admit. It is Jumping In, Chris and myself, H, for the second of our look at, well, sort of preview stroke review of London Jazz Festival 2023. And yeah, a preview last week. Some of the stuff is already gone now, so there's only a little bit left, as in tomorrow evening, if you're listening on a Saturday evening, not to the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast later on, of course, you might have missed it all. You'll have to wait for 2024. In the meantime, you have a chance to get down tomorrow evening to catch the very end of it. You'll have just missed, sadly, and we missed her as well on this particular occasion, Hiromi, the amazing Japanese pianist who we did catch at the LJF a couple of years back. She is back again with a double bill of her own music, with a piano quintet and also her latest project again. They have brought stuff out before, but her latest album, Sonic Wonderland, and Hiromi's Sonic Wonder were indeed playing at the Barbican on Monday, and that was the 13th. From her latest album, let's hear the title track, Sonic Wonderland. Yes, I enjoy that very muchly indeed. I haven't heard the whole album yet. I confess, I actually bought a CD copy of it and it only turned up the other day, so it's literally the first chance I've had to have a listen to it. So I thought we may as well hear the title track, Sonic Wonderland, from the album Sonic Wonderland. And from what I've heard there, I'm enjoying it very much indeed. I think there's some slightly more acoustic-y sounding tracks as well. It's not all synth and full-on bebop and electronics. However, the mixture is Hiromi herself on piano and keyboards, Hadrian Farrow on bass, Gene Cove, great name, on the drums, and Adam O'Farrell on trumpet with effects as well, as you gathered there, or rather like that, using pedals on the trumpet as well. She is playing, but I'm afraid you've missed her for 2023. Who knows, she might be back for 2024. She was playing at the Barbican on Monday in the London Jazz Festival, the 13th of November, and like I said, did a bit of a double bill. There was that group, Sonic Wonder, and also she played with the piano quintet as well, which sounded very good indeed. Opened the evening featuring London violinist Thomas Gold, Hiromi Dobrinsky, Megan Cassidy, and the cellist Gabriella Swallow, with Hiromi herself taking keyboards. Great stuff, and a little powerhouse, brilliant technician on the piano. Amazing to see live.
She is fantastic, yes, and energy just flowing out of her fingers. Now, a band we have had the pleasure of seeing before a number of times. It's a real heavyweight septet made up of stars and band leaders of their own right. What's more, the average age of the band, is 74. No time for Piper Slippers, though. Here are the Cookers with Somalia. Cookers. What an amazing group. The album Lookout was released in 2021 after a 5-year gap. Because, guess what? They're all too busy touring. And it was recorded at the newly revamped Rudy Van Gelder Studios on vintage classic equipment. Fitting for such a vintage collection of talent. Billy Harper on tenor, Dorald Harrison on alto, Eddie Henderson on trumpet, along with David Weiss, who at 59 is the baby of the group, George Cable's on piano, Reggie Workman on bass, and Billy Hart on the drums at a youthful 82. Hart and Harrison were recently honoured as NEA Jazz Masters. Catch them while you can. Real masters and old friends having fun in the way they know best.
Absolutely, and we'll be having lots of fun as we speak down at the London Jazz Festival 2023. And this man, James Brandon Lewis, will be one of the wrapping it up to a degree. It's all over the city, of course. I don't know the very, very last band. Probably our band's later than him. However, he is on 7:30 at Cafe Otto on the Sunday, which is the last day of the festival. So it'll be knocking on towards some of the last gigs going on. Fantastic player. I really enjoyed this album, Molecular, from a year or two back. James Brandon Lewis on tenor sax and compositions, Arowan Artisan piano, Brad Jones bass, Chad Taylor drums. Wonderful stuff. And here is a track called Césaire. Short and sweet, as they say, Césaire, from his album on the Intact label, Molecular, James Brandon Lewis Quartet. And again, James Brandon Lewis himself on tenor sax and compositions mostly, Arowan Otis piano, Brad Jones bass, Chad Taylor drums, and you can see that exact band if you're very fast or already down in London, down at Cafe Otto. The bad news is, the last time I heard, it was sold out. So we're hoping to be there. We're hoping to have a table. We'll report back, is all I can say. It's a venue which gets very full very quickly in a very trendy part of town. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. But wonderful player he, and look more forward to more of his stuff in the future.
Yes, fantastic stuff. Love James Brandon Lewis. A number of albums out with that lineup, and then also with another setup called the Red Lily Quartet, and another one with a string quartet. Fantastic player. Definitely one to continue to watch. And another duo bringing fantastic music to the festival are saxman Alex Hitchcock and guitarist Ant Law, who we caught up with Alex recently. Sorry, Ant, I beg his pardon. At the Vortex, we caught up with Alex last year at the 606. Their album Same Moon in the Same World was one of the many highlights of last year, and they're playing music for it at the Lower Third in Denmark Street last week, missed it already. Both have very busy schedules, and Alex has just released the excellent triple with his Dream Band live in London, which is actually 3 different Dream Bands you should check out. And Ant told us that there's a second Trio HLK album, Anthropometrics, due out early next year. But for now, let's leave you with Low Glow. See you next week.
That's it, and onwards to LJF 2024.
Woohoo!